this time in New Orleans after Chris Paul and the Bugs from the Big Easy suffered their first loss of the season on Monday night. Remember, the end of that game Monday was the Dallas Mavericks knocking down fourth quarters, and that's exactly how this game began.
Well, Jason Kidd, arguably right now might be one of the better standstill shooters in threes. When he came into the league, he couldn't even attempt a three-point shot. But him, the Dallas Mavericks are a little bit under the radar, and they probably appreciate that, but they're getting it done. Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki gets it on the offensive end, but defensively is where they're also picking it up.
This game was played with really high intensity.
It was, and again, remember, New Orleans, after having lost the game in Dallas the other night, and then they didn't come out and play real well that first half, but you talk about Dallas, New Orleans is another one of those teams. I think right now, early in the season, I would say Chris Paul's probably been the most valuable player. I mean, he just does so much for this basketball team offensively and defensively, and just a real difference maker, one of the real elite players we have in our game.
Chris Paul with the swipe there. He'll finish on the other end. Dallas on top by 4 at that point. They call to Emeka Okafor.
All that Pilates and all that stretching and all of that aerobics, whatever he's doing.
And Chris Paul.
Yoga.
All that Chris Paul.
Yeah, that does help.
It's a good regimen.
Chris Paul does.
That's a good regimen to stay on as well.
Yeah.
Trevor Ariza there.
What'd you do today, man? I did some Chris Paul. I worked out with Chris.
Right.
I played with Chris Paul.
There's Jason Terry knocking down another of those threes. Dallas was 6 of 11 in the first half. Marco Bellinelli spreading the floor for New Orleans. Nowitzki with the layup there. 98-97, the Hornets on top. J.J. Barea will swipe.
You might not see Trevor Ariza inbounding the ball at the end of games anymore this season.
Well, good defense right here to pick the pocket and let's keep it going, because a one-point game becomes a 2-point win because they got it done. But you see the problem with both of these teams to beat the elites is that they don't have shot blockers when it comes to the playoff time.